What an amazing day for anybody who is supporting the cause of Palestinians. It all started with David Lammy, of all the people, the new foreign secretary of the United Kingdom, who is from the Labour Party. And remember how I have criticized him in the past for his questionable stance on Israel and its genocidal campaign in Gaza. That guy spoke in parliament and stunned everybody. So, to start with, he overturned the decision that Rishi Sunak government had taken on UNRWA. So, he reversed the ban and he immediately announced the release of new funds for UNRWA, which you know is a lifeline for Palestinians, not just living in Gaza and West Bank, but even outside as refugees. Um, and then the kind of tone that he was using. I mean, I've never seen him criticizing Israel, and here he was today criticizing Israel for deliberately causing blockade as far as the land route is concerned through which all those relief materials are being carried to Gaza.
This has been a priority from day one because of the desperate situation in Gaza and the serious risk of escalation in Lebanon in particular. And I have to be frank, Britain wants an immediate ceasefire. The fighting must stop. The hostages must be released. Much more aid must enter Gaza. Israel promised a flood of aid back in April, but imposes impossible and unacceptable restrictions. I also met Palestinians displaced by settlers. Settlement expansion and settler violence has reached record levels. The Israeli government has seized more of the West Bank in 2024 than the past 20 years. This is completely unacceptable. This government will challenge those who undermine a two-state solution. UNRWA has acted. Partners like Japan, the European Union and Norway have also now acted. This government will act too. I can confirm to the House that we are overturning the suspension of UNRWA funding. Yeah. Britain will provide 21 million in new funds.
We all knew that. And we were surprised as to why Keir Starmer, a human rights lawyer, and his shadow cabinet members were not critical of Israel for its genocidal campaign. I mean, on one hand, they're killing people and have killed tens of thousands of innocent, unarmed Palestinians. But on the other hand, they were forcing Palestinians to starve, to die, because they were creating deliberate stumbling blocks on the road through different routes so that the relief materials being sent from around the world don't reach them and they die out of hunger. So we all knew that. So it was a music to everybody's ear that David Lammy singled out Israel and said that it was unacceptable. I don't know what has changed. I don't know what prompted David Lammy to have this change of heart. I don't know. Many people say that maybe the recent gruesome murder of Mohammed Bahar. Remember the autistic 24-year-old Palestinian with Down syndrome and autism, who was killed by Israeli dog and he was left to die. Because at the end of the day, whether you are a top politician or you are a common person, you have to fear karma. What you do to others will happen to you in some way or the other. Rest assured. Rest assured. I'm a firm believer of that. So when you are in a power or in a position to stop this brutality and you don't, and you choose to side with the aggressor, rest assured that this will come to haunt you in one way or the other. So I'm pleased that David Lammy and his Labour government have had a change of heart. In fact, I saw the glimpse of it when the United Kingdom's permanent representative at the United Nations, Barbara Woodward, spoke a couple of days ago. You can see the video that we posted here. There was, I mean, the way she was speaking, the criticism for Israel, the choice of words, I think it was indicative of the fact that, maybe the Labour government may change its policy towards Israel. It's early days. I'm not gonna say that it's everything is gonna be resolved, but nonetheless, it's a good beginning, and let's hope that this government build on its policies that they have announced today for Gaza, for Palestinians living in Gaza and the West Bank. And the other bit, as the day passed, the International Court of Justice, what a judgment. I mean, you have to understand why. So a week ago, International Court of Justice announced that it was going to release its advisory opinion, the opinion that the United Nations General Assembly sought from the ICJ on whether Israeli occupation of the occupied territories of Palestine are illegal. First of all, you have to really wonder that these people have to seek top court's opinion on whether Israel's occupation of Palestine is illegal. I mean, as if like they don't know, as if you have to be a rocket scientist to understand, or you have to be a legal luminary to understand that. I mean, something which is no brainer, they will just prolong this matter, and in the process the innocent people will continue to suffer. So anyway, they sought that opinion from the ICJ. The ICJ judges, they deliberated, and today was the time when they came up with their final opinion. And what an opinion, and what a judgment. Point by point, every allegation against Israel was upheld by the ICJ. Again, we posted the video here. You should go and watch it. It's only the operative part of it, about 10 minutes plus, but the entire judgment was close to 2 hours. So if you have time, you can go on the ICJ website and watch it. But if you are keen to understand the key points of the judgment, you can actually come to Janta Ka Reporter channel and watch it. The crucial thing in that is that ICJ has finally said that Israel is an apartheid regime. Is that ICJ? No, no less than an ICJ. I mean, the world's top court has finally said that Israel's occupation of Palestine is illegal, and the policies adopted by Israel towards Palestinians amount to an apartheid regime, something that we saw what happened in South Africa. So just based on these two things, I think there will be there should be serious repercussions for Israel. To start with, the United Nations General Assembly should immediately convene and decide to kick out Israel from the United Nations. Because, I mean, Top Court has said that Israel is a rogue regime. That's what I've been saying in all my videos. I mean, 6 years ago, I called Benjamin Netanyahu a bloodthirsty terrorist in India. And look, I mean, I didn't have to. I'm no legal expert, but I knew exactly, what he was doing. It's a common sense. And now the world's top court is saying that hey, the regime, the current regime of Israel is a rogue regime, it's an apartheid regime, and its occupation of Palestinian land is illegal. So Israel should be kicked out, and the Olympic is going to happen. I think the International Olympic Committee, it will be a matter of shame if they don't ban Israeli athletes in the wake of this judgment. And also, all those top countries around the world, including the UK and the United States, they should immediately sever all ties with this. I know it's unthinkable. I know it's unthinkable, but you cannot expect to call yourself a civilized country and say that and support ICJ, and on the other hand, you cannot actually implement the ICJ ruling. And since Israel is now been declared an apartheid regime, I think there should be a rethink about how certain countries in the West, treat Hamas. Because now, if Israel is an apartheid regime and Israel is an illegal occupier, will it be tenable for these countries to continue to call Hamas fighters as terrorists or proscribed terrorists? So these are the a lot of the questions that are going to be very, very relevant in the wake of what has happened at the ICJ today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our videos today. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.